If you're a normal viewer of mine, you know that from time to time I have teenagers on my show and we talk about some teen issues. Well, you're in luck if you're watching today. I have some teenagers with me and we're going to talk about bullying in schools. But before we start, let's go around and introduce ourselves to our viewers. Let's start with you.
Hi, I'm Victoria Thomas.
Hi, I'm Taylor Alexander.
Hi, I'm Ariel Alexander.
And I'm Keena Nolan.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, ladies. I'm so glad we have some ladies here to talk about bullying because it seems that a lot more girls are bullying other people. Have you all ever experienced this in school?
Oh, yes.
Let's hear what has happened. Anyone want to share?
I'll share briefly. It might sound a little childish, though, because it was elementary school, so there wasn't really much to bully about. But I was definitely bullied because I was a little small at the time. I was very short, and there was a fifth grader that was a lot bigger than me. And sometimes she would bully me, and she would tell me, like, on the bus, sit in this seat, don't sit in this seat, and she would tell me what to do. It was crazy. At the time, it was very traumatic. But now I look back, it's just like, it's not that serious. But I see her at school now, and she still looks exactly the same, and I'm taller, and I'm more mature now. I look at her, I'm just like, well, I mean, you bullied me, but I turned out okay, so I don't resent her or anything like that. I'm not a bully either, so I feel like a lot of people try to use that as an excuse to bully other people.
Any other stories?
I guess I can go. Let's see here. I could say middle school, it was something else for me, being bullied and everything, mostly because of my size and everything. I'm like, that hurts. I'm like, you don't even know me, but you judge me before you know me. Most people do that so they think like, oh, I can get popular like this. I can show that I'm over you, someone like dominacy and whatnot. I'm like, you don't do that to someone. Like most people that come out now, that, you know, killing people and whatnot, like they was bullied and they was hurt. And I'm like, everything has an effect to it, and like it's not cool at all. So.
I understand.
Any other stories, ladies? No? So you were never bullied in school?
What?
You was? What happened to you?
Can't think about any stories.
Oh, but you definitely had someone mistreat you at school. So why do you think people do that? Anyone?
I guess kids think it's funny, probably. They probably think that everybody's laughing with them without realizing that the person is actually being hurt.
That's true.
Probably. I don't know.
Some people is insecure, so they decide to pick on others to get audience attention, you know, get popular.
Do you think the media or the movies have anything to do with the reasons why people bully folks? Because there was a movie out a while back called Mean Girls. Do you think that's a reason why people bully other people in school?
Kids do look up to like actors and whatnot, and they look at how they treat people, and they see it's like what's their environment. If they see people arguing, talking down to someone, it's how they grew up. If they feel a certain way about their self, they're gonna like look at you trying to find your flaws, so you want so people won't talk about them. So it's like people does look at the industry and look at movies and like, oh, that's how they do it and whatnot. So yeah.
So what do you ladies think? You think that's true?
No, I actually don't.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I don't.
Oh, okay. So
Well, how do you feel?
what do you go
I don't feel as it's because of like TV and movies. No. Some people don't watch TV. Some people don't have movies.
So
And
their
you can,
environment. Go ahead.
okay, I think it's also off of how their parents act. They can get some of that off of that family. It's not always TV.
Okay. So it seems like you guys are saying that bullying is not something that you copy. It's something that you do subconsciously based on people you see. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. I understand now.
So what do you mean by that when you say that?
Family.
Uh-huh.
It's like basically if children see parents always fussing or brothers and sisters, like you can go to your cousin's house, you see them fussing. It's basically you're getting hints off of them like, oh, if I say that, people laugh at it. Oh, let me do the same.
Oh, okay. Okay. I see what you mean now. And what about you, young lady?
It's basically off laughter.
Oh, you think that people bully other folks just so they can laugh
Yeah.
and a joke? But what about whenever the bullying turns violent?
It's because the person had enough of it.
The person being bullied had enough of the other people bullying them, and so they fight back physically? Do you think that's why that happens?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you ladies agree with that?
I agree, because some people, they hold it in. They don't show they don't let you, some people, they don't let you see that you're hurting them. They just keep it all in. Then when they go home, they think about everything that you've done to them, and they're like in so much pain, and it keeps building up and building up. They have no one to talk to, because they feel everyone's against them. So when they do get it out, it ends up in violence. And, you know, that's why I don't understand why people even do it. You know, you see how people are killing people now. So I'm like, well, why?
Bullies bully because you allow them to bully you. If you actually stand up for yourself whenever the first sentence come out, then you wouldn't be bullied so much.
It turns
I
violent.
feel as it's that you allow them to pick on you.
Some people,
Let me hear you say that one more time. That sounds really good. Let me hear that again.
The reason bullies bully you is because you allow it. If you stand up for yourself the first time, then they will actually stop.
Huh. And you were about to say something.
I was like, everybody is different. Some people don't have a backbone. Like if they got bullied like elementary, it's like, oh, they're like already belittled. Someone already belittled them, so they're already like used to it. If someone's always talking down to them, they're already used to it, so they already know like, oh, I don't know what to say. Like, oh, like I'm scared. Like they're gonna hurt me. Like, you know, like they just take the bullying and go home because no one's there to protect them, to look after them. They have no one to talk to. You know what I mean? So I'm like,
You know, you made a very good point there, because when you're growing up, your parents, they may or may not have taught you how to stand up for yourself. So how do you do it that first time? Since you made that profound statement, how do you do it the first time whenever you're not being taught how to react to bullying?
Depending on what's been said to you.
Uh-huh.
Like, can somebody give out a little thing like a bully? What would a bully say?
Give me lunch money.
Maybe your lunch money.
Do they still say that? Because I haven't heard that. Everything.
That was
Like,
TV.
oh, why you got them shoes on? You know them shoes came out last year. What would you say back?
If you have a problem with my shoes, then how about you go out and you buy me a pair?
Okay, now like stuff like that starts back and forth. Now, I
Yeah.
can say that honestly because my sister and I go back and forth a lot, and like you said, sometimes you can stop it the first time, but some bullies are different. Like some bullies want you to fight back so they can start a competition. They think it's funny, but other bullies, depending on like what they feel on the inside, if you say something back, they're like, okay, well, I won't mess with her because it's not going to be what I was hoping for. So I guess it just depends on the situation and the maturity of the bully, because some bullies think it's funny when you fight back and they want to continue to bother you because it will be funny, I guess.
You know, ladies, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about how can we stop this from happening in our schools, okay?
okay.
All right.
I want to see the world.
When you pick up a book
I used to read every night to all the younger kids.
and let your imagination break free, you won't believe how much fun it can be.
Let down your house!
Experience a world of adventure, excitement, and endless possibilities. Get tangled up in a good book. Explore new worlds. Read. Visit read.gov today.
And welcome back to Betty. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. I'm here with some ladies, some high school students and some college students, and we're talking about bullying in the school system today. You know, before we went on break, we were talking about how you should stand up for yourself whenever you're being bullied. Have you all ever stepped into a situation where someone was being bullied and you stood up for that person when you saw that they weren't able to or didn't know what to say?
I have before.
You have?
Yes, and it was between two of my friends. One of my friends was a senior, and one of my friends was my age. And the senior was bothering him, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, stop!" And he thought I was joking, so he was like, "Oh, it's no big deal." And I was like, "No, seriously, stop." And he stopped bothering him, but it was more like he thought it was a joke. He thought I was playing along, but I was being very serious. So after that situation, I kind of stayed with my friend to make sure that the older guy didn't keep bothering him. Because I mean, like, I guess if he thought I was playing, he stopped. So I figured I should just do the same thing so he doesn't continue to get bullied.
Anybody else stepped in and stood up for someone that was being bullied?
Like close friends, like if you see like them getting bullied and you don't like it, you're like, why don't you do nothing? You see they're not doing nothing and it keeps happening. It's like you just taking it in your own hands and you're gonna end up fighting their fight for them because you're tired of the person like bullying everybody, so you're gonna step in yourself. So I can understand, like I did that before with one of my friends. So.
Anyone else?
Yes, I have, but I took a little overboard with it.
Uh-oh. I'm afraid. Okay. What happened?
Two of my friends, they was fighting, and it was over over the little stairs, and one of them ended up falling down. I felt bad for her, so I helped her up, but the next day I seen him walking down the stairs. And I thought, she fell down the stairs. He didn't see how it felt, so, little trip, he fell too.
Like, oops. What did he say?
He got a little mad, but he ain't pushing no more.
So you stood up for someone. And you the quiet one at the table.
The bully at the table.
Not the bully.
Huh? Yeah. You never stepped in when you saw somebody being bullied in school?
Well, when I hear somebody talking behind somebody's back, that's the only thing different.
So what did you do?
It's difficult.
Do you go tell the person?
At times. At times. At times. And then sometimes we have issues.
So why do you all think people are bullying other folks in school? I really don't understand it.
I think they feel like they can get away with it. Like if you pick on like the smart kids and whatnot at school, like they're worried about school. Like I don't want to get suspended. If I argue with them, it's into a fight, and I don't have to worry about my grades and whatnot. So I'm like, they try to leave it alone, but it hurts and it keeps building up and it's hurting them. They're trying to like, I'm doing my schoolwork and someone keeps bullying me, and like they go to the principal. They think they resolve it, but it comes back like, oh, you snitched on me, and it just gets worse and worse. So I'm like, bullying, I feel like it's never going to really stop for some reason.
Because, like, some people feel like there's nothing you can really do, because if you tell somebody and they don't do anything, then you're stuck because the person knows that you told on them. And if nothing happens, then you're stuck in the situation until you find a way out, which would be maybe, like, changing schools or promoting to the next grade and hopefully not seeing them anymore. But bullying is very difficult because you want to tell people, but you don't, because you don't want them to handle it in a way that'll make the bullying worse. So that's how I feel.
Okay, I kind of agree with them, but when you said changing schools, I don't think you should actually run away from the problem.
Yeah, I understand.
I mean, that's
like
making it
changing
worse.
from like 5th grade to 6th grade, like not.
But
on
what if they
purpose.
follow you?
Well, then you just out of luck. Cause I don't really know what to do. Like, I'm not the type of person to fight a bully. Like, I'm not gonna fight you, but I understand. I mean, if you want to bully me, you could try, but I'm not a confrontational person. So like, just don't bother me. I mind my business and you mind yours. I don't like having problems with people. I feel like I'm a pretty nice person. So if you have a problem with me, that's your problem. Cause I mean, we can try to solve it, but if you're not willing to try to squash it, then you can just do that. I don't really know what else to say.
So what do you guys think about, everybody has Facebook or MySpace. What do you think about bullying on social media?
I think that's honestly the worst kind, to be
Yes.
honest. Because some people try to hide behind accounts on the internet so you can't tell who they are. I'm like, for you to try to talk about somebody and not even own up to it and not even want to admit that you're the person, it hurts really bad because you don't know who it is. You don't know why they're doing it. I think that's pretty horrible. And then when they put your picture up so everybody knows who they're talking about, I think that probably hurts the worst because then all your friends see it and you can't do anything about it. You can't take it off.
So have you guys experienced anything like that?
Not me, but at school, like, there used to be so many fights. So, like, they used to make private pages and whatnot. They'd be like, oh, I know who it is. And used to get around. They used to fight, like, argue with everybody. Then next, the administrators got involved at school. They start getting on Facebook. They start checking Facebook now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So they start checking YouTube. Like, I was like, what? Like, they came in my classroom one day to use the computer, and they're looking at fights. Like, they looking at fights, everything, and statuses, and they're like, you get suspended because you put this on here. And that's a bullying, and, like, we don't allow that at school. So my school is, like, starting to pick up on it, and I'm like, that's kind of good because it's been like less of it after that whole like they start putting girls out and boys pictures and everything like anonymous pages. I'm like, oh, I'm not trying to get on there. Like it's not me. They want to say it was me. I'm like, now what I look like making a page? Like don't come to me like that. You know, like everybody yelling at me. I'm like, now you know I didn't do it. You know. So I'm like, So
my school did that too. Like my school started checking people's Twitters and Facebook, so they always knew when it was fights. So we had like extra security. And one girl, they like I think they had a trending topic about her on Twitter, and people were just like talking about this girl really bad. And I think one of her friends told her, and they suspended like 3 of my friends in one of my classes for talking about her so badly because it's considered cyberbullying. Like imagine how you would feel getting online, seeing the people that are supposed to be your peers saying things about you, like maybe you're unattractive or you can't dress or things like that. That's not like something you can exactly help. So people got suspended for that. And my school will check your Twitter and your Facebook to see what's going on. And I guess it's a good way of getting involved to know what's happening with your students.
So you could get suspended for bullying someone?
Definitely.
Online?
On the internet. Even if you don't even like say it directly to them, people still got bullied for it. I mean suspended for it.
Do you think that's a good idea?
I mean they won't do it again. So
All schools don't do that.
Ah.
I attended this school called Freedom in Morganton.
Uh-huh.
And I went through something with someone posting a picture of me online.
Uh-huh.
I was just sitting in the gym with one of my friends, and I didn't know he was like near us, and he had his camera posted down low where he took a picture of me from right here and down and posted it on his Facebook. My friend called me one day and I looked at it, and it's like you could tell where he took it. So we fussing in school. The principal asked what happened, and I told the principal, and all the principal said to him was, "Don't do it again."
that's not really solving the problem.
That didn't solve the problem. So was this guy considered a friend of yours?
No, we never liked each other.
Oh, so he was getting back at you for something. Was this the one you pushed down the stairs?
I can't push him down. He'll fight a girl.
And I'm
Oh,
at
really?
the table.
Whoa.
Think about that.
yeah, there's some boys out there that will fight girls.
I think
Oh, really?
That's horrible.
Yeah.
I can't imagine
not
that.
nice.
So have you all ever had a fight with a boy before?
Yeah.
A
I
fist
can
fight?
say that.
Not me.
My next door neighbors. I used to go to principal every day. Once we got off the bus, like tagging, like they want to get in group, like they just hit on the girls, get in a circle, and they start hit on them. Next, you know, I got my uncle involved. My uncle don't play. Uncle Boo, he don't. Yeah, he don't play. He came to their house. He let them know what's up. Like you ain't finna be touching my niece like this. And next, you know, like, oh, you told your uncle, and I'm like, yeah, I told my uncle. They didn't mess with me. They little thing. Oh, don't mess with her. She gonna tell her uncle. She gonna tell the principal. Don't mess with her. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna telling you. You hitting on a girl. Like really? So, yeah.
You know, let's take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk about adults that get involved in bullying when kids are involved too. Okay? Welcome back to Better. I'm your host, Cynthia Thompson. I'm here with some ladies, and we're talking about bullying. And before we went on break, I asked you, I said we were going to talk about adults that get involved in bullying when their kids are being bullied. Do you think that's a good idea for, like your uncle, to come to your bus stop and say he's going to jump on some kids? Do you think that was really a good idea?
I mean, yes. I mean, because I didn't have no older boys to like handle it for me at the time. So I went to family. Like family is someone you could turn to. I'm like, because if you go to the principal, they don't handle it how you want to handle it. You go to people you could turn to help you in a situation, because they'll stop it right then. You know, like, so I feel like it depends. Like some family members, you see them jumping into fights, and I'm like, that's a little too much.
Right.
But someone like want to step in and help stop the situation, I can understand that. So.
So what do you think about parents, and I have seen this, and I know we've all seen it on the news, mothers that will make a Facebook page and bully their kids' friends on Facebook. And I think this one woman got arrested for doing that. What do you think about adults that do that silly stuff? I think that was kind of
I
stupid.
think that's a little childish.
Yeah, she's too old for
I
that.
know this group of kids in my neighborhood, their parents got involved because the kids got into a fight and the mother was just standing there and it was just because the girl was just beating up on a girl, right? So then she posted the videos, she posted on Facebook, everybody's commenting.
The mom?
No, the girl.
Oh,
So
okay.
then the mom got involved, like, can you take that off? She's like, why? Then the other mom got involved. Then the mom started fighting, and then she's cussing out. Then she's cussing out the kid because you're like, can you take it down? And they're like, no. Then like parents and kids just arguing, and it's just like, wow.
Yeah. That happens to one of my friends. Actually, it's a guy, and his neighbor got in a fight, and his neighbor lost. So he put the video up. His mom got mad because he got beat up. So his mom drives down the street, and she sticks up her middle finger at my friend for putting the video up. And he's just like, really? So he told his mom, and his mom went to her house, and she's like, you put the video of my son? And he was like, but if he had won, it would have been okay. So then my friend got in trouble. Because the other mom told on him, made it sound like the video was really horrible, but it wasn't.
It's not a good idea.
It's not a good idea. It's really not. So what do you think?
Because kids, sometimes they don't care. They'll fight the mama, too.
Yeah, this
I
is
saw
true.
that before. It's horrible.
And bringing your parents or any other like adult into the situation, that's just causing more drama and giving them something else to bully you about. So I think it should stay between kids. Adults should never be involved in it like that unless it's real serious. Unless it's like a threat, that's when you should tell a parent. But if you're like fighting, they're talking about you, it shouldn't be something you go home crying to your parents, trying to get them involved in it. No, you're giving the bully something else to bully you about. Run home tomorrow and cry. So if you want to stop the tears, don't go home and cry to your parents.
I want to ask you, ladies, do you think there's a difference between bullying from people that are poor and rich, or people, when I say people, kids, from a single family home or both parents in a home? Do you think that makes a difference?
I think it does. It has to do with your self-esteem, to be totally honest. Because if all your friends have things that you don't have, you feel kind of bad already. And then going home to your parents, and there might be problems at home, that makes you feel bad. And then to go to school, and I don't know, I guess it just escalates or snowballs from there. Maybe.
Anyone else? Any thoughts?
I could say, switching from I went to West Charlotte and then switching to North Mech.
Wow.
It was like a big difference.
I guess so.
Because it was like more white kids and they like showed off like, oh, I have money, having all these parties and whatnot, and then just hear them talk about other kids and whatnot. So you see people trying to change how they dress to keep up with other people, like just changing everything. I'm like, we never wore that. Why are you wearing that now? Like, dressing all preppy and whatnot, trying to fit in. I'm like, it's like clothes does make, trying to, in a situation makes a person, like, it's judging. You're judging right off the back, like, they don't got no money. Like, I don't want to be their friend. Yeah. Oh, man. Like, like, you judge, like, oh, man, they look nice, man. I want to be their friend. Like, all they wear name brand stuff and whatnot, I'm like, it is something, like, people talk, that's something, it's like, that's giving something to talk about. Bullying is because different groups all together. So.
And rich kids don't get bullied because everybody, they probably just want something from them, so they probably give them better opportunity.
You don't think rich kids get bullied?
I know they more nicer than rich kids. Like, talk about, oh, you having a party? Like okay. Especially when they have alcohol and drugs involved and whatnot. Like, they're more nicer to them. Like, oh, because you're offering something. So if you have something to offer, you're most likely not to get bullied because you're like, oh, you're giving me something. Why would I be mean to you? Like, oh, so I'm like,
I do kind of understand that. That's why people are so vulnerable now, because they're trying to please everybody. And the people who don't care about what other people think get bullied because they don't want to do what everybody else is doing. They don't want to try to fit in with everybody else. So that happens all the time.
But when you don't fit in with everybody else, you consider the lame girl at school, and nobody never wants to be the lame girl.
I know.
Never.
What's the lame girl?
No friends, no clothes, no shoes.
Oh.
Nobody talking to you.
like no boy that like just
no
look
boys,
at you.
no nothing. You just
sit
go
by
home,
yourself.
do your homework, go to class, Like, that's it. You're lame, basically.
You're probably the smartest one in the class, too.
Well,
No,
I'm the
not
smartest one in
always.
my class, and I'm not lame. So
Oh,
it just depends on your level of lameness, I guess. Because I have, like, a few friends. I don't want to be friends with everybody, but I'm also not lame because I don't like... I mean, I like to dress nicely. I like to talk to my friends and things like that. But I still get my work done. I still stay at home on Fridays to make sure I do everything I'm supposed to do. Like, it depends on the situation. Sometimes I care what people think. Sometimes I don't.
Yeah, swag do help you get popular though.
what now?
Swag.
Swag?
The clothes you wear, the way you carry yourself.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's very important. Very important. Because people's first impression of you is the most important. Because if they see you with, like, sweatpants and just a random shirt with, like, an oil stain on it or something like that, their first impression of you is that you don't care. You don't really take prestige as something that's important. But if they see you dress nicely all the time, you always have on something that either looks okay or is very presentable, then they consider you to be, like, a pretty cool person or whatever. So it's very complicated.
So what it sounds like you're saying is that people look at what you have on. So do you think it's a good idea to go to school in uniforms?
No. We can't all dress the same.
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of good in a way because then you don't have to worry about people always picking on you for what you have on because you all have on the same thing.
Oh,
Some,
no.
some people like they don't buy like you have the same uniform. I don't have to buy you no clothes. They come to school high waters, then you get picked on like
gosh.
you know like some.
Well, see, I didn't go to university, so I guess I don't know.
And wearing the same shoes.
Yeah.
Like, people look at shoes if everybody's wearing the same thing.
Oh.
So they'd have to go. So their parents would have to come more out their pocket for shoes. So they wouldn't get picked on like that.
You only have to dress up on weekends.
And then I know like especially my little brother, he's going to high school now. All he's talking about, mommy, you don't want me to get picked on. I need clothes, mommy. Like you say you're gonna give me some money. Let's go to the mall. That's all I hear. I'm like, you didn't take me shopping, mommy. Why is he going shopping? I got picked on here and there. You know? Like, give me, you know, like, why he So I'm like, that's all I hear from him.
So do you think having uniforms in school is a good idea?
Actually, no.
Why?
Because if you go into a uniform school, people gonna be. You still get picked on. To me, I still think you'll get picked on
Outside of school.
because with uniforms, it's like you have to wear certain colors. Some people like say they don't wear Dickies no more. So let's say somebody got on Dickies, they gonna laugh at you and stuff. Because if you get the top name to get with your colors, then oh yeah, you still in there popular. Especially if you got the nice shoes to go with it.
I don't get it.
But if it's a uniform,
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I just like, why do people have to focus on every little thing about you? Like, don't you have other things to focus on?
Because they're bored and they're hungry for this
Like you
attention.
saying, like Dickies. Like I know that Dickies has like the little small thing on the back that's got the name on it. Why are you all in my pants to see what I have on? Like, oh my gosh, that is too complicated for me.
you know, ladies, this was really interesting. And I have a couple more questions for you, but unfortunately, we have run out of time. How about we get together and talk about this again? Because I do have some more questions about bullying for you. And I want to thank each and every one of you for watching us today here at Public Access 21, A Better You, every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Thank you, ladies, so much. We still didn't talk that much. We're not